What's up, folks? It's your boy MMG Smurf here. I'm sure my music's way too loud. I'm gonna put this on a little timer. I'm gonna put this around for about 5 minutes or so. And we're gonna start learning. I'm gonna try to make some videos today, and guess what? We're gonna upload them. We're gonna upload them as individual videos today. Yeah. Again, I'm going to cut this timer in half. Our goal today is to make some videos, make some tutorials, have some fun. I'm going to start the Smash Arena up and stuff too. So we'll have the little arena. Yeah, the woo. We was watching the woo. I was watching the woo. That shit's good, bro. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I'm like, it's a come up story. It's a story of adversity. It's a true story. It's an East Coast story. It's like, what else is it? It's a black story. It's what else is it? It's a young story. What else is it? It's a hip hop story. What else is it? It's a music story. Oh, bro, I was just like taking a notice of the soundtrack for the Wu-Tang Clan show. That soundtrack is fucking fire. I'm like, yo, they have a lot of old school jams and just other shit popping up in here. But you gotta know to know. Speaking of jams, old school jams, you know what I'm saying? We could play this music all the way out, you know what I'm saying? Let you guys get the norm vibes in. The norm vibes, but you know what I'm saying, we're gonna do a little special today, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna do a little special today. So we're gonna take it to our boy Coin Daddy. Coin Daddy. Yeah, I need this in my lap anyways. I'm moving stuff. I'm doing stuff, guys. I'm doing stuff in the background. And then we're about to get this vibe going here. Can we get some vibe going? Can you guys vibe with me? You want to vibe? Anybody want to vibe? Camaraderie sent that lemon. You know, lurk for a bit. Let me know you lurk, and we'll open that chest. I think there's some stuff that's piled up in there now. What y'all know about this next jam coming to you?
I just hold and keep my storage cold, hold, and keep my storage cold. Now you thought it Which is BTC and LTC. Coin Daddy's got it all, even XRP. I'm the Jihan Wu-Tang, crypto shield man, globetrotter hold man, your favorite coin man. ETH and NEO, Coin Daddy allocated before you know. REP all the way to the ZEC. I'm Asian squatting in front of the SEC. So control your anxiety, get off the PC. Coin Daddy collects all your USD. XRP, BTC, THC, all I need. Check coin market cap and put your lungs on. Got an ROI so high it's as long as my OMG to the BTG. God damn, it feels good to be me. I just hold and keep my storage cold. Storage cold. Hold and keep my storage cold. Storage cold. Now every day is a holding day, so stop the scams and put the coins away. Play video games, ETC, REP, 2CB, don't mess with me. You're holding all your bags, looks like you want to cry. I'm beating your ass like I'm dropping GoldenEye. OMG, XTZ, XVG, 2EZ. I'm market making, market take, piling it up so high, waiting for the proof of stake. Conferences in Asia, Korea to Hong Kong, evangelizing products, Carlos Matos gone wrong. Man after shilling with the mouse and a smile, I just check out my DMs, take them down in the line. Got my coins in a big ass sack, I'm slinging these bags like a heart attack. Is it cause they like my crypto wow? Crypto wow? Is it cause they like these central tiles? Central tiles? Is it cause they like my handsome face? Handsome face? Is it cause they like my shilling ways? Shilling ways? Oh, whatever it is, they love it and they just won't let me be. I handle my biz, don't scare me. I got boys at the SEC. Whenever I call, they come running. They just give me that BTC. You know that I ball. Stop whining or I'll call my Twitter army. I just hold and keep my storage cold. Storage cold. Hold. Storage cold. Storage cold.
BTC, XVG, XRP, LTC, THC, 2CB, BRB, BTG, ETH, EOS, ABC, 1, 2, 3, MCD, MCG, BBI, ABC.
How much money can you make?
It's gonna roll us out to the start of the stream.
Crypto. I got that ripple. Yeah, I'm slanging Tron all day long. And you better believe I'm about to short some Bitcoin. Yeah, that's right. I'm about to short some Bitcoin every day and every night. Cause right now it's a bullish market. There ain't nothing in sight. Where the money at? Where's my fucking money? Where the money at? Where's my Bitcoin? Where the money at? Where the money at? Where the money at? My Bitcoin. Where's the money at, yo? I need to go meditate or something. I think I should go stand in this corner. I just keep looking at the Satoshi number in my wallet and I don't know what to do. Oh my god, this is bad.
Listen up kids and stop the clicks. You gotta kick it with the DAWDY click. If you wanna be a dollar, then you gotta do like this. You gotta shorter while it's hot and then you're living like a pimp. Bitcoin bleeding with the sense they come from nipples. Buying dipples, sucking nipples. Tron living like a space age player. Caught down on flipping paper. Home invader, it's alt season, baby. Shit is scary. Iota looking like a young Halle Berry. Monero sneaking in like Mr. Steal Your Girl. Luminary daddy stacking comments like they're pearls. I'm buying and I'm selling and I'm blowing up the serves. Illuminati, crypto naughty, fucking the whole world. I'm lightning fast and crypto rich, so hot I start to burn. Too many coins to stop. Word. Logging out on Binance while I'm shorting on the max. Hurts so bad to do this, but I know it's for the best. I sell into the fiat while I flip the BTC. What you thought I switched, bitch? I'm fucking coin daddy.
How much money can you make in a day? Let's play, I got that crypto. I got that ripple, ripple, ripple. Yeah, I'm slanging Tron all day long. And you better believe I'm about to short some Bitcoin. Yeah, that's right. I'ma go and short some Bitcoin every day and every night. Cause right now it's a bearish market. There ain't nothing in sight. Where the money at? Where's my fucking money? Where the money at? Where's my money at? Where the money at? Where the money at? Where the money at? My Bitcoin. Where's the money at, y'all?
Coin Daddy, Crypto Naughty, Young Satoshi. Daddy Bitcoin's back, baby. Woo! It's alt season, baby. King. Alt season, baby. Bitcoin forever. Where my money at?
All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was actually an old client of mine. Yeah, Coin Daddy. Got that client from the hustle. I was like, yo, I really like your music. Let me promote this a little bit, get this out to some more people and shit like that. Take over your Instagram. So I did their social media. I did their marketing for a little bit during the last bull run. I haven't talked to them since, really. But I still have control over those accounts. But yeah, old client of mine, Coin Daddy. So continue to promote their music. What's up, folks? It's your boy MMG Smurf here today. And today we're gonna play some Smash. Obviously, you see Smash up on the screen. But other than that, I also wanted to take some time during today's streams we usually talk about crypto and explain things, blah 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 blah. But today specifically, I'm not just going to be talking about, I'm going to be making some videos that we'll then upload to YouTube. So I'll be like saying things and then I'll like let you guys know, like I'll obviously take a seat in the bleachers, like, yo, where's Smash Community? And then I'll go into like this crypto segment and we're going to like learn about like how to utilize things. Cause I know oftentimes people are like, I don't have enough money to jump into DeFi. Oh, you got so much money or so whatever the heck. I'm like, no, I'm broke. But I do allocate my money correctly. I think, or better than, a lot of people that I know with way more money. I have like, what was it, $2? $3. It's $3 in one situation that I'm looking at on my screen, almost $3. That's made me 76 cents in the last 3 or 4 days. And like, that's a good allocation of money. If you only had $3 and you somehow got another quarter of that money, then like, yeah, if you can keep doing that, that's a successful recipe. And so that's what we're about here at Money Match Gaming. That's how we've seen our success here at Money Match Gaming. It's doing things, as a small streamer, like taking whatever Twitch subs that you get. Maybe you only get 2 or 3 Twitch subs. Maybe you get a bunch of Twitch subs. I don't know. We don't really get a bunch though. I can show you guys those numbers, and it's like we might get like 20 subs a year, maybe on Twitch, maybe. So it's not really a lot of money, especially when they're taking like half of that. It's like $100 dollars a year. We make $100 every day. So it's like nothing. It's pennies compared to what we need to fund this shit. But yeah, let's go, because like I gotta live too, and COVID done ripped me of a job. It's okay. We provide for ours. Let's go into things today. I think we should start off the day by doing an actual match. So I'm going to start off the day by playing some Smash, starting up an arena, maybe playing some Smash. So let's get this arena open first. If you have any questions about crypto and stuff like that, or any blockchains or any tokens or some stuff you want me to talk about specifically, let us Smurf know. And I'll be happy to give my opinion. All I can do is give my opinion, guys. We do not offer financial advice here. I'm not a financial advisor, not a professional with anything like that. I am just a dude who's into crypto and uses it to fund my gaming company. So that's what we do here. No financial advice, but if you want to be a friend, you want friend opinions, I can give you friend opinions. So MMG, and then I've been typing live stream. Twit. Oops. Bro, I could have swore I said that. Twit. YouTube. Man. We'll just go with Twit YouTube. Also, repping my Falcons today. Repping my BG Falcons. I don't know how they're doing this football season, but go BG. copy that password for the arena. It's C45BY. Okay, so we're gonna get a match in. Hopefully we get this arena full, and I'll take a seat, and then we'll begin. What you call it? What do I call it? Explaining, tutorialing. While we do this, let's listen to some more Coin Daddy. Some of these songs are fucking ridiculous, but they're also educational about crypto. They actually are educational about crypto. It's fucking funny. Like, if you don't know stuff, like the stuff that he mentions in this is true. Like, a lot of stuff is just like you just taking backs and like, this is funny. A lot of it, not everything. Like not the obvious comic sketches.
3, 2, 1, go! Show me your moves.
Because superstar going on the Ritz. I'ma get myself some real money. Straight from a coin, straight big win. The mind these bitches since I was 3. Looking for money in the bank and I'm the lead. Hit the caviar. Where the Sean Jones sipping down very young. Like the Defi. So many things. My present hang low. USB port. Not enough support. So much money in my wallet to get. Holding up a whole blockchain with my bid. Or a motherfucker's account, then I need. If I were just jealous of my own daddy D, I just don't know what they want from me. It's a normal way, and I would lead.
It used to be ICOs, now it's IDOs and new farms. Oof. Yeah, your money's straight liquid and you pay no taxes if you don't withdraw that shit. So like, why withdraw it? You've got a bunch of money in something that you don't actually have to withdraw it from. Like, fuck US dollar. Yeah, it's open arena. This is an arena. What you mean, son? You ain't even know. You ain't even know. Oh, he out there one. Damn. How much Cardano to kick that Falcon out? How much you gonna give me? Shit. You can give me 2. Shoo, you got a Uriah wallet? I know you don't got the actual wallet.
I see the trend. Trading on the weekend. You got weekend.
Yeah, if you don't know and you have Cardano, you could be staking. Like, you're like, I just want to hold my Cardano. You should learn about staking Cardano, because you can be making more Cardano off of the Cardano that you have in a very safe way. It's actually made to do this. Is what it's supposed to do. That's the whole point of it, is to be staked in this manner.
You just blew your account. Mine has 9 lives. I've been hunting all the stops. I've been catching all the knives. You struggle with the dips. I can manage.
How do I stake? You need to get a Yoroi wallet or a Daedalus wallet, an actual Cardano wallet. Send your Cardano to that wallet and then choose a staking pool. You'll like see them. They'll be like everywhere. And then, but you should do some research on that. I would suggest to get the best returns and stuff. Coin Daddy snapping.
Bitcoin Cash, S2X, and my big fat stack. I don't know where the price is gonna go. November 16th, this shit is gonna blow. Everybody thinks a drop is coming. Coin Daddy ain't winning, I'm straight for hustling. Let me break it down for you. Back to Phil and Jihawu, Roger Fit and Korea are about to battle you. You sold your Bitcoin Cash, big mistake. Now let me tell you all about your bait. They're gonna pull a switcheroo, make their profit up for you. Take that Bitcoin Cash, replace them with the hopper crew. They thought it through. They thought the STS is gonna make you rich. Now you're back home, bitch. But there's still time to go, you need to pick a side. Are you gonna be a blood or a crypto? BTC Core, S2X crew. Roger Baker Ball, you'll be on blue. Still got Bitcoin Cash, where's it gonna go? I don't know. Just a blood or the cryptos. It's the blood or the cryptos. Where's the price gonna go? I don't know. Just a blood or the cryptos. So I got Nakamoto status on the Bitcoin Core, Bitcoin Cash, S2X, and a nice black ass. Did I get that right? Okay. BTC Core, S2X crew, Roger Baker Ball, get G Blue. Still got Bitcoin Cash, where's it gonna go? I don't know. Just your blood versus the cryptos. It's the blood versus the cryptos. Where's the price gonna go? I don't know. Just the blood versus the cryptos. I'm coming for you, Roger Bear. Don't hide, don't hide. Stay true, stay proud. Bitcoin Cash is gonna crash. Yeah. S2X ain't got shit. Bitcoin Core everywhere. Straight legit. I'm a Bitcoin player stimulator. Panty dropping crypto savior. Fucking up the crypto haters. Coin Daddy on that shit. Coin Daddy on that shit. 8 megabyte blocks.
That coin daddy giving me life. So this song is about the Bitcoin SegWit fork, Bitcoin Cash fork. Bitcoin has forked multiple times. There's Bitcoin Cash, there's Bitcoin SCV, or Bitcoin SV. SegWit 2X is the Bitcoin version. Obviously, they're not all worth the same amount as Bitcoin because, yeah, they went down. Oh my god, really?
Dear Charlie, I DM'd you, but you still ain't tweeting. I left myself my email and my username at the Litecoin meeting. I bought some coin back in summer. It was a runner. I swear I must have 10x my stock or something. Sometimes I regret shit once the moment that I buy them. The Litecoin silver, the Bitcoin gold, that shit is awesome. I'm so fucking soaked up on I think you're forced to shit, man. I think you're hella tight. If I have a son, guess what I'm gonna name him Charlie. This kid has some troubles, man. The community needs you badly. I know you probably hear this every day, but I'm the biggest fan. I even punch out my friend and called your coin a scam. I got a treasure full of Litecoin, so I trust you, man. I like that shit you planned with a comic swap. That shit is rad. Anyways, I hope you get this man sweet you back. Or G-Chat, respect you mad. Verify it before blasting it out across the nation. That China shit hurt Bitcoin, man. It's only 10 years old. It grew all the way to 5K for you to just say hold. That's pretty shitty, man. You caused that fucking dump. And now you're defending yourself on Twitter like a crypto Donald Trump. I'm still holding, although I think I may no longer like you. Remember when we met in SF and you said that if I tweeted you, you would retweet me back? See, I'm just like you in a way. I need attention too. I don't even have a shitcoin, so I need it more than you. I can relate to what you laid out in your white paper. All that awesome stuff about so much more than answer later. I'm bad holding everything else. The Litecoin helps when I'm depressed. I even wear a t-shirt with LTC across the chest. Sometimes I dox myself to see how much it bleeds. It's like adrenaline. The pain is such a sudden rush for me. See, the use case for your coin is real, so I respect you when you shill it. My girlfriend's jealous because I talk about you 24/7. But she don't know you like I know you, Charlie. She's a bitch. She don't know what it's like for people like us who want to be rich. You gotta call me, man. I'll be the biggest investor you'll ever lose. Sincerely yours, Coin Daddy. We should be together too.
1, go!
A conflict of interest because it's wrong. I'm about to sell my coins, I've already closed my long. You sold all your coins at the top, now the shit's going down in flames. I can't believe you exit scammed your holders and then ran away. So this is my vlog, I'm sending you, I hope you see it. I'm logged into GDAX now, I'm about to sell my stash, I fucking mean it. Hey Charlie, I want revenge, you dare me to trade? You know that song about Rick Astley, never gonna give you up? About the guy making a bunch of bullshit promises with no substance, and then everyone else spread that shit around for nothing? That's kinda how this is, man. I was never gonna let you down. Now it's too late, I'm selling thousands of dollars worth at a loss. And all I wanted was a crummy leader of a coin. Who knew that as a professional you could be so fucking annoying? I love you, Charlie. We could have all been rich. Think about it. We could have taken over silver, man. So with the world, read about it. You ruined it now. I hope your coin goes to zero and you dream about it. But when you dream, I hope you can't sleep and you scream about it. I hope your coach eats at you and you can't breathe without me. See, Charlie, shut up, kid. I'm trying to talk. Hey, Charlie, that's Vitalik screaming in the trunk. But I didn't tweet about it. I just tied him up. See, I ain't like you. Cause if he's not around anymore, then the coin will die too. Well, gotta go. I can see the SEC in the rear view. Oh shit, wait. How am I supposed to upload this to YouTube?
My man Coin Daddy just went in. So if you don't know, Charlie Lee is the creator of Litecoin. And at the top of Bitcoin rally, so when Bitcoin in the last bull run reached around 20,000 or so, Charlie Lee sold all of his Litecoin. Like, it was going up, and Charlie Lee sold all of his, like, the creator sold all of his Litecoin, all of it. And it was like, yo, what? And his reasoning was it was a conflict of interest to be developing it and hold such a large bag.
That shit is dangerous. This is real money, dude. You got some issues, Coin Daddy. You shouldn't be trading. Litecoin's gonna go sky high. Every coin is worth saving. Man, to beat it, what the hell? Coin Daddy, nice try. That's in that Eminem song. Are you plagiarizing this? Just think about it. If I get busted, Litecoin really dies. I can't keep working on it.
I mean, Litecoin is just supposed to be a coin where you can transact at low fees. Simply it's literally just supposed to be like a money type of transacting thing. And if it's going to do that, Charlie Lee not wanting to be pursued by the SEC and this and that, the same way that Ripple's being pursued, that's why he did it. But he made a lot of money off of that. And then Litecoin, I don't know if it's seen that. It's seen those numbers again now, but like it was, I don't know if it's seen the all-time high, honestly. I don't know. But yeah, it's only gotten close to what it was. I don't think it's going crazy over or anything like that. Is he on Pokemon Unite? Stop. Hold up, son.
3, 2, 1.
I'm saying, oh no, I'm gonna Unite. I'm saying. Bro.
see if you got in. That's long on my Bitcoin Cash. Nah, man, I'm not down with that 8 megabyte block. 8 megabyte blocks of my cock. I'm sure you heard it. Oh, I heard it. I used to hear the sound of money. Money going up. It's a siphoning, bitch. Jihan, get my shit.
Boy, don't go. That's why you got caught like a fucking fool. Gonna be a siphoning. What they mean by siphoning in this sense is the different chains and different coins coming out that pull away from the Bitcoin dominance. I need like a few more people in arena so I can sit in the bleachers and make this first video. I think I'm gonna start with like some Tron shit, maybe. Damn, 3 stock. Bro, don't be coming at my viewers like that, bro. I'm saying I'm gonna slap you up. Hey, you don't know. I don't know where Jinjin at. Oh, it's just an open arena. Let me give you that ID. Why did that platform have to come up? That was ridiculous. Oh, why did he dodge? Jesus. Why would you clip it when you died? And you died first. Like the clip would be like, okay, but you died. Oh, okay, okay. I guess that's the last stock. That's how I kind of see it.
2, 1, go!
You'd be like, yeah, but that's not like a good thing to pull off last second because you would lose the game. What up, Locks?
Just 1 second, let me finish up here.
Type the name Novigrads into YouTube.
Here, go buy yourself some more coin.
Oh my god.
You want a drink? Yes.
You doing alright? You doing alright?
2 seconds. Browsers. You watch browsers?
You watch, bro. Nice to hear. Smash? You here for the casual?
Fat stocks. It's an honest way. I don't like you. I think your music is shit. Personally, I think you're shit too. There's work. I
Yeah.
don't want to be on the outside of this show.
Yeah, well. Does play some dope. Who do you like to play when you play?
Some
Just curious. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Seems your guy, it removes me from Fortress. Laughing stuff. Partners went on to make $1,000,000. You know what I was left with? Wife and kids.
Gotcha. Do you have a Switch? But I would like to. Do you have a Nintendo Switch? Yeah, that'll be a little setback there. But you know, in time, anything is possible. Ooh. Fun yet frustrating game.
Sunday dinners at the yacht club. No blacks allowed. And you know me, call me Bubble
Bubble
God.
God.
Fortress fire me, they'll feel the loss. Bitcoin's just another asset class. I'ma make my 100 daily back. Got a vision for the future. A vision where I'm richer than all of my ex-peers.
Maybe I could get one for Christmas. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I've been looking at this game. This community. Okay. Yeah, Smash. He wants to get Smash and a Switch for Christmas. I had some good deals by then. Spoofy.
Nice try.
A movie.
Me and Putin are colluding. We have friends who need some screwing. So here's the plan.
Yeah, that's always a way, man. Yeah, I'm about to show some money making online stuff in a second. Hey, I'm like, yo, it's not financial advice and stuff. You probably need your parents' permission to get into some of that stuff then, but
Fuck you, fucking pieces of shit. You think I'm firing from my own fucking company? Are you fucking serious? Sure. Fucking down.
But yeah, camaraderie over here. Yeah, I saw how much you made off of ARC tokens. I looked at that shit recently. I was like, damn, somebody made a killing off of ARC. What the fuck? Who did this? The account said camaraderie. I'm like, oh my lord. Bubble God.
Just another asset class. I'ma make my 100 billion back.
Oh yeah, some of the shit I'm about to show might be useful to you, Cam. Bubble God, bubble God. So you can always pull it out. One another acid glass, acid glass. I'ma make my 100 billion fat. Brass. Check one gecko on this stuff, anyways. Noble words. My window.
This one goes down to
Crypto apes. Hold up. He getting. Hold up, Coin Daddy. Let me pause Coin Daddy real quick. You getting a little wild, Coin Daddy. I wanted to switch this up real quick on the audio. Before we get into some other stuff today on today's stream, we are going to do maybe both of these videos. Maybe we'll do both of these. But these videos on the financial system. So these videos that I'm about to play over the audio, of course, are about just the regular financial system, because I think before we dive into cryptocurrency and blockchain and stuff like that, how money match gaming is able to earn money, we should learn about a little bit, audio. And this is going to be in 2x speed, but learn about the traditional financial system and what it is that blockchain is replicating in a better means. What is it doing better than if you don't know traditional finance, then how are you going to know what's better? So this is going to be some information on that.
The financial system. In 1907, financial panic broke out in the United States. The stock market crashed and people stormed the banks. The banker J.P. Morgan brought together the rich elite of America into a single room and forced them to loan money to the banks in order to prevent a collapse of the financial system. 101 years later, 9 heads of the largest banks in the United States congregated in a room at the Ministry of Finance and did not exit until they signed their consent to receive a government bailout of $250 billion US. Why is the financial system so important that everything must be done in order to prevent this collapse? The financial system is composed of institutions and markets.
So let's go back in case you guys missed that, because it takes your ears a second to adjust once it increase the speed.
The financial system. In 1907, financial panic broke out in the United States. The stock market crashed and people stormed the banks. The banker J.P. Morgan brought together the rich elite of America into...
So in 1907, the financial system crashed in the United States. Banker J.P. Morgan brought the people together
and
forced them to loan money to the banks to prevent a collapse.
101 years later, 9 heads of the largest banks in the United States congregated in a room at the Ministry of Finance and did not exit until they signed their consent to receive a government bailout of $250 billion US. Why is the financial system so important that everything must be done in order to prevent this collapse? The financial system is composed of institutions and markets. Its job is to act as a broker between those who need money or capital and those who can't. It's responsible for allocating capital in the world. What is capital? Households, companies, and governments that deposit in the banks money that they've saved or that invest in the capital markets. Who needs capital?
Brawlhalla, you got Brawlhalla? That's free, right? Oh no, you don't have a Switch. It might be like $10.
which take
I'm talking over this dude. Hold on. Let me push this back. Shit's important.
The financial system is composed of institutions and markets. Its job is to
So he's saying, why is it important that the financial system doesn't collapse? Why do they keep doing all these weird things where they like force all this money or do all this weird shit with money that might devalue a lot of normal average class people, middle class, lower class, whatever. It might just devalue your money, and they'll do that time and again. They've done it so that this system does not collapse. So the system keeps coming close to collapsing, and they do something so that it doesn't collapse. And if you're sitting in cash and stuff, it just devalues your shit, and your family becomes poor. That's happened multiple times. So guess how if you're like, oh, my family became, well, it might not have just been a crash. It might, some of the assets might have been bad at some time. But yeah, these are the type of things that have been happening. The best way to avoid that type of shit is to have assets. Like, even though, like, yes, assets can go to zero and this and that, and that's like when people when you hear those stories about people that lost it all and their family lost it all with assets going to zero, it's oftentimes like, if they have all their assets in the housing market and all the housing goes down to whatever price, and they're using loans or whatever the heck from the bank to actually be able to afford some of that shit and blah, 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 blah. Well, all of a sudden you can't pay that stuff back. You can't pay it back. And if you do pay it back, it's not going to make you as much money. You're going to be down millions of dollars potentially. And so that's happened before.
It's a broker between those who need money and those who have capital. It's responsible for allocating capital in the world. Who has capital? Households, companies, and governments need money. Everything consent
Run
to
this back.
a government bailout of $250 billion US. Why is the financial system so important that everything must be done in order to prevent its collapse? The financial system is composed of institutions. Its job is to act as a broker between those who need money or capital and those who have capital. It's responsible for allocating capital in the world. Who has capital? Households.
So the job of the financial system that they keep trying to not to have collapse is simply to allow those who have capital. So if you have money, you should be able to provide it to people that need money. That's its job. That's what they keep trying to prevent from collapsing, and it keeps collapsing, but the people that have money keep getting wealthier, and the people that need money keep getting it devalued. But if you have money and all of a sudden you're able to keep it, or have that wealth, and you kept your wealth, you're not paying attention. You're probably like, yeah, well, it's they should figure it out. But then they also they're not going to cover it in this video maybe, but they also put laws and stuff in place where the average person or a person underneath a certain amount of wealth can't actually access all the things that they put in place to make sure that you don't get devalued and stuff. The average person can't get to it. You have to have a certain amount of money, period. Otherwise, you're not going to be covered. So they're only saving certain people actually during this let's not have it collapse.
Companies and governments that deposit banks money that they've saved or invest money for who needs money?
Also, we know what this has done to other countries. Like maybe you're thinking I'm thinking talking about just on the United States sense, but no, this is the entire financial system. So yes, this is the system that the system that is the reason for countries like Venezuela or whatever, like being in complete disarray with their fucking finances and stuff like that, because the United States isn't allowed to do things like slap tariffs on them with our current system. So
households, companies, and governments need more money
let me get in that
for
arena.
household purchases, recruitment of workers, development of technology, and the building of infrastructure. Brokering is done directly through the purchase of securities, bond, or shares. Investors basically transfer money to companies.
Play them for tickets. Why don't you got tickets, Ma? I don't understand you.
Essentially provide loans to whoever needs money. When a company sells shares, it's raising capital for its activity, and in return, it gives investors a stake in its ownership.
Oh, shit.
Shareholders are meant to share in the profits of the company, which they receive as dividend payments. When a company sells bonds,
Yeah,
it's
play my
lender.
boy.
The investor who purchases the bond is a lender, but has no ownership.
Yeah, play my
This
boy.
means
Let's
the
go.
interest payments of the entire loan sum at the end of the period. An example of allocating capital through bonds is China, which purchases from its export.
He doesn't have a
revenue
rank. He can't play for
thereby
tickets.
financing it. When we save and invest money, we hope to increase our capital. Pension saving, for instance, is meant to finance our retirement. In exchange for loaning money to someone else, we receive yield and our money grows. Without brokerage, the global financial system would look completely different. The achievements of the financial system are not negligible, and when it failed, the results were catastrophic. In the crisis, panic took over and trust in the financial system was destroyed. The desire to lend money...
If you send me the Tron, I can send him the USB cam.
The more you learn, the more interesting and successful trade will be. You can
If he
find
needs
additional
it.
focused courses on trade,
Or he
which
can
is
just
market-based
end up
models,
paying you
competition,
USD.
and
I'll cover you.
Evergrande is a huge story out of
What
China.
the fuck?
that a lot of people
They
aren't talking
literally
about.
just switched that
Evergrande
shit.
is one of the most important assets.
Let's go back. What the fuck did they just say at the very end of that?
the financial system. In
Okay, I usually
pension saving,
love
for
to have
instance,
this on
finance our
2x.
retirement. In exchange
But I
for
feel
loaning
like
money to
this
someone
is...
else, we receive yield and our money grows.
I understand
Without
that. I want to make sure
global
everybody can
financial
understand
bonds
this.
or shares.
I want to make sure everybody
Investors
understands this.
basically means that deposit and bank are between those who need money or capital and those who have capital. It's responsible for allocating capital in the world. Who has capital? Households, companies, and governments that deposit in banks money that they have saved or that invest money in the capital markets. Who needs capital? Households, companies, and governments need more money than they have for household purchases, recruitment of workers, development of technology, and the building of infrastructures. Brokering is done directly through the purchase of securities, bonds, or shares. Investors basically transfer money to companies or governments, or indirectly to banks and financial institutions, which take deposits and essentially provide loans to whoever needs money. When a company sells shares, it's raising capital for its activities, and in return, it gives investors a stake in its ownership. Shareholders are meant to share in the profits of the company, which they receive as dividend payments. When a company sells bonds, it's lending money. The investor who purchases the bond is a lender, but has no ownership. He's supposed to receive interest payments of the entire loaned sum at the end of the period. An example of allocating capital through bonds is China, which purchases from its export revenues bonds of the United States government, thereby financing it. When we save and invest money, we hope to increase our capital. Pension saving, for instance, is meant to finance our retirement. In exchange for loaning money to someone else, we receive yield and our money grows. Without brokerage, the global save and invest money, we hope to increase our
So this is the important part.
government, thereby
Let's listen to this real quick. This is important. This is why this is really similar to DeFi and stuff.
the entire loaned sum at the
And this is talking about the normal financial system.
end of the period. An example of allocating capital through bonds is China, which purchases from its export revenues bonds of the United States government, thereby financing it. When we save and invest money, we hope to increase our capital. Pension saving, for instance, is meant to finance our retirement. In exchange for loaning money to someone else, we receive yield and our money grows. Without brokerage, the global financial system would look completely different. The achievements of the financial system are not negligible, and when it failed, the results were catastrophic. In the crisis, panic took over and trust in the financial system was destroyed.
So what they just told us is that pension savings is basically lending out money to somebody else. Some other government's going to decide what the fuck to do with it. Some bank's going to decide what the fuck to do with it. But you're lending out money, hoping that you get it back someday, basically, because it's not come back before.
Desire to lend money dissipated. Thank you for your time. And we're certain that the more desire to lend crisis, panic took over and trust in the financial system was destroyed. The desire to lend money dissipated. Thank you for your time. And we're certain that the more you learn, the more interesting and successful trade will be. You can find additional and more focused courses on.
All right, so that was one view.
For today's video, I wanted to discuss the answer to a fairly basic question. How does a bank make money? For a bank to make money, the bank must use depositors' money to then make loans to borrow. The interest rate the bank collects on the loan must be greater than the amount of interest paid to the customer. So here we have a visual of the saver is bringing money to the bank. The bank is going to incentivize this saving by paying this saver a percentage. And for simplistic purposes, we'll say the bank pays this individual 3%. Now, what is the bank going to do with the money they received from the saver? Again, the bank is going to loan that money. For a bank to make money, they must generate a repayment loan. Now, the individual that borrowed the money to buy, let's say, a car, is going to make payments on this car.
They said pay 3%. 3%.
When they make payments on this car, they're going to pay an interest rate. And that interest rate will be on the money that they borrowed. So they will pay.
So they have to pay, in the situation of borrowing, you're paying a 7% interest rate, right? That's how much it's how much you have to pay.
Back an original principal amount plus interest rate. Now again, keeping this fairly simple, let's say that they charge this individual 7%. So what is the bank earning on this transaction? In this case, the bank is charging 7, paying 3, or a real interest rate of 4%. So the bank will make 4% on this. Now, banks are a part of what we call a financial system. And a financial system is a system that allows money to be transferred from each of the savers and borrowers. So in this example here, you can see savers are putting money into a financial intermediary, and those financial intermediaries are then lending that money to people that might want to borrow. In this graphic, again, we have a group that wants to save that money to people that
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here real quick. So he's mentioning that, yeah, so savers, people that have money, transfer it to banks, mutual funds, pension funds, financial companies, credit unions, etc. And then those credit unions will transfer that money after a certain amount of time, 48 hours or a week or whatever, it can take time, to borrowers / investors. And it creates like a cycle. So I want to cover this for when people attack cryptocurrency or DeFi and stuff like that about energy consumption. So 30% of current Bitcoin, I'm just talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin energy consumption. Other cryptocurrencies actually run on proof of stake, which is already less energy efficient, or more energy efficient, uses less energy. But the people that are naysaying against this are banks, mutual funds, pension funds, all these companies and stuff like that. These are companies that have high-rise buildings. That's good for the environment, right? High-rise buildings that have insane amounts of electricity that they take up just for turning the lights on in a day, and how much money that costs. That's not being talked about. High-rise buildings that employ hundreds of employees to drive to work in the morning. That's gas money, whether they're taking the bus or driving themselves. And the CO2 emissions of that is a few percent of what Bitcoin does in a year, just from not electricity, not the building and all this other crap, not the people and the stuff that they do in the building and turning their computers on, any files and transfers and stuff like that they do that consumes energy, just getting to work in the morning. And that's just for the banks. That's not including the mutual funds or the pensions and the credit unions and stuff. That was just for banking. I looked at one role in banking that takes up about 3 to 4% of all Bitcoin's total energy consumption to get to work in the morning. Let's continue.
Those financial intermediaries are then passing that money to people that might not borrow. In this graphic, again, we have a group that wants to save money and a group that wants to borrow.
Just a lot of effort
Financial intermediary.
to do so little when you could actually just make code that does all of that.
Money to the borrower. The borrower is going to return that money in the form of
1-0 in favor
interest
of
and principal payments,
SMA.
and the bank will pay this saver interest. But again, there must be a spread based on the amount that is paid and the amount that they are receiving. So financial intermediaries represent entities that bring savers and borrowers together in order to link them in a financial system. A financial intermediary is going to act as a middle person for savers and borrowers. And the bank, again, makes money on the interest charged to loans in excess of the interest paid to savers. Now, banks make money in other ways as well, but this is a very vanilla perspective of the banking system. So one of the questions we might have then is, why do people borrow? And specifically in this case, why do households borrow? Well, the answer is they borrow so that they can buy things they cannot afford today in cash. Now, what might they borrow money to buy? Well, most people will borrow for big ticket purchases, such as a house, an automobile. People will borrow so they can achieve higher academic status, or they might just buy something on a credit card for the holiday season, such as a TV. So these are reasons why a household would borrow money. And again, in order to have access to that money, there must be savers. Why does a household save? Well, there are many reasons to save, but we can point to reasons such as retirement, earning interest to combat the future effects of inflation. You may save money for working savings, that is, you want to purchase something in the future, therefore you're saving for it today. Or you may even save money to fund something in the future like your child's education. But people save for various reasons, but saving is important because it allows borrowers to have access to those loanable funds. Now we talked about why households would save. Let's talk about why businesses or firms would borrow. The business is going to borrow, quite simply, to either start a business, maybe expand a business, or to invest in capital goods. So in this picture we have a business which is constructing a new factory or a new home office. But a business will borrow because they cannot afford in cash what they would like to do in terms of their business. And of course, this is with the idea that they will make more money in the future to compensate for that borrowed money.
All right, so that was the traditional financial.
How the economic machine works in 30 minutes. The economy works like a simple machine, but many people don't understand it, or they don't agree on how it works, and this has led to a lot of needless economic...
We're not going to listen to that one, though. What else is good?
Thanks for your time.
3, 2, 1, go!
These next two videos are actually really good. The second one is about quantitative easing, which I think people should know about.
Well, there's a great deal of international concern when we're taking accounting, but things will sort themselves out, Brian. This is what a market does.
Well, can you explain to me how it all works?
How the economy works.
Well, yeah, what's the problem at the moment, for instance?
Well, what we've got at the moment is an international credit crisis.
Yes, how does that happen?
Well, I'm a bank, Brian, and I borrow money and I lend it out, and I charge more to the people I'm lending it to than I pay to the people from whom I'm borrowing.
Well, who do you borrow money from?
Well, from, depositors, Brian. Have you got $1? Well, I borrow your $1 and I'll give you, there's your bank balance.
$1?
$1.
Right, okay, and you pay interest to me on that?
I do, but I also charge you fees.
Well, why do you charge me fees?
Because, Brian, I'm looking after your money. Your money is secured with me. I'm a bank. I mean, this is a very important amount of money. This is probably your nest egg. It's safe with us.
And how much interest do you pay?
Approximately the same as I'm charging you in fees.
Oh, good deal for me.
Well, your money's secure with us, Brian, and I then lend that money to businesses, and those businesses generate income. This is how we build the economy.
And they put that income into the bank?
They do, of course, Brian, and that builds the savings pool, and we can invest more money.
Well, who do you lend that to?
Well, because we need credit, Brian. You see, money creates more money, so if we can create money that creates more money, we're broadening the economy, we're expanding it all the time.
Yeah. But shouldn't people just buy that they can afford?
You don't need to afford the things you're buying, Brian. You need to afford the interest of the money you need to borrow in order to buy them.
And you're charging higher rates for it.
We do hop into them a wee bit on the credit rate, Brian. We stick the hydraulics under that because it's a slightly higher risk strategy.
Do people need to be buying these things?
Well, obviously they think so, Brian. I mean, these things are advertised to people as very necessary, very important, and deeply, deeply attractive.
Well, who's advertising things that people don't need?
The companies we're lending the money to.
So, okay. Then you bought into the US subprime housing.
Well, Brian, so concerned are we to build a better Australia.
You helped build a worse America.
Yeah, well, that was an accident, Brian. What we were doing was investing in the international investment market.
And that's been a disaster.
It, frankly, famously, hasn't been a huge success hitherto.
Well, so what are you going to do?
Well, now you give me $700 billion immediately. Well, because we need it, Brian. I mean, the system needs money. Imagine the economy as a body. It needs blood pumping around it, Brian.
You haven't got it?
We haven't got it.
1-1.
Why not?
Well, we lost ours. I've just been explaining that.
You're not having mine.
Mom! Brian won't let me play with his stuff.
It's the only money I've got.
You're in for it.
Thank you very much for your time
What is quantitative
tonight.
easing?
It's my great pleasure to be with you. Good
Yeah,
evening.
you're...
So a lot of people don't know what quantitative easing is. This is a lot to do with the reason that the financial system is actually in trouble.
Thank you very much for your time tonight.
It's my great pleasure to be with you. Good
Now,
evening.
you're an economist working in the banking sector, yeah?
I am. Should I get a lawyer? I think I'm entitled to legal representation if we're going to discuss my work.
No, this is just a few simple questions. Don't
Simple
worry.
questions? How simple?
Well, they're theoretical.
Theoretical. I can
Yeah.
deal. Yeah, okay, we can deal with that. I
Yes.
mean, don't hold me to the answers, but
Why not?
well, because I'm an economist and I can think of a different set of circumstances under which my responses might vary somewhat.
And everything's connected to everything else, isn't it?
In economics, I'm afraid that is the global fear right at the moment. Yes.
Now, right, there's a lot of uncertainty in world economics, isn't
There
there?
is a great deal of uncertainty and a lack of confidence.
Yeah,
yes.
and there's a lot of talk of quantitative easing.
Quantitative
That's a term
easing,
we
yes.
hear all the time.
That's a
but-
term you hear a lot at the moment, yes.
Yeah, what exactly is quantitative easing?
Well, I can answer this because actually we're advising a couple of governments about this right at the moment.
And what are you saying to them?
Well, perhaps I should just take you through what we're telling them to do.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I
Great.
won't go into a lot of detail,
No,
that'll
that's
be
good.
indiscreet, but this will give you an idea of how quantitative
Off you
easing
go.
works.
Yeah.
Take
This is back in 2011 this is made.
printer out of box and place on table with the out tray facing the window.
Yeah.
Bro, this is how quantitative easing works. This is an economist talking about this. Listen to this dude in
Take
2011.
printer out of box and place on table with the out tray facing the window.
The out tray facing the window.
That's right. Load paper into the paper receptacle and place currency on glass tray F.
Right.
Check alignment by printing out a test page.
Right.
Go into copy settings and select double-sided and the number of copies you require.
How many would you suggest?
In the case of one of our clients, it's 80 billion, 120 billion in the case of another client, and one client wants $1 trillion of these things.
Can you get printers to do that?
No, you can't. You're going to need a bank of them. I mean, it's a
You need some
multi-printer
big
job.
ones, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
big industrial strength.
Yeah.
Big like a Bofors gun, all facing
Yeah.
the window.
Yeah.
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 Once you've ascertained that you have the alignment correct,
Yeah.
you alert the banking sector, open the window, and press copy.
And stand well back.
Yes, you got to stand well back because they can create a bit of a vacuum while reaching cruising height.
Whereabouts?
In the super fund industry very often.
And you'd have to consider the wind direction too.
Oh
wouldn't
yeah, you don't want to be doing this upwind.
No, because you get covered in pretend money, couldn't you?
Covered in what?
Pretend money.
No, this is not pretend money. This is real currency we're
But
creating.
aren't you just printing it off? I mean, these are photocopies, aren't they?
Excuse me. Dave, this is not going to work. Because I've just explained it to a bloke and he saw through it straight away. Are you in banking?
No.
No, he's not even in the banking racket. Okay, I'll try that.
Try what?
Have you ever heard of Rumpelstiltskin?
No?
Good. Now we're getting somewhere. Pull up a chair. I'll tell you a tale.
I'll do a more serious one in a second. This is more serious on quantitative easing, but that's pretty accurate though. This is the serious rundown on quantitative easing. I am going to play it at 2x speed. So
This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Go to skl.sh/thepainbagel5 to get a free 2-month premium trial. Quantitative easing is something we've seen pop up around the world ever since the 2008 financial crisis. The US, UK, Eurozone, and Japan are just some of the countries that have implemented the unconventional monetary policy as a way of helping their economies recover from the recession. But what exactly is quantitative easing? Well, the short of it is that it involves printing money, which is thought to encourage business activity. But it's a little more complicated than just creating dollar bills and tossing them from a helicopter to cheering crowds and businesses below. The central bank will use the newly created money that it produces to purchase assets from the market. And while this isn't different from what the institution actually typically does, it's the scale and the type of assets involved that makes quantitative easing so unconventional and, quite frankly, controversial. So let's go through how quantitative easing works and what it means for the economy on today's plain paper. A country's central bank, like the Federal Reserve in the US and Bank of Canada,
So a lot of people don't even know this is happening. This has only been happening for about, a little over a decade.
is the steward of the country's currency. They are intended to be an independent institution from the government, and among their responsibilities is the task of actually issuing money and managing its supply, while simultaneously helping the economy maximize employment and stabilize prices. So, when a country starts to show signs of a slowing economy, the central bank will typically step in to try and boost business activity through expansionary monetary policy, which involves influencing the country's currency to encourage more spending and lending. One way they do this is by changing their policy interest rates, which you hear about in the news quite a bit, especially within the last decade. By lowering interest rates they pay on their deposits that they receive from other banks, the central bank applies downward pressure to other interest rates within the economy, from interest rates paid on government bonds and corporate debts to car loans and mortgages that you or I might pay. The idea is that a lower cost of borrowing will encourage spending, which is a fair assumption. If you were going to buy a house, for example, you might be more inclined to make a current purchase if you could borrow at a lower interest rate, whereas if interest rates were higher, you might decide to hold off and, at the very least, increase the down payment you make before making the purchase so that you don't have to borrow as much and pay the expensive interest rate that you're going to be charged. Low interest rates have prevailed in most developed countries since the 2008 financial crisis, but as you would expect, interest rates can only go down so far. In the US and Canada, the central bank interest rates are in the low single-digit range, and in the Eurozone and several other countries around the world, rates are actually in the low negative range. And so with little to no leverage left in that department,
So currently the interest rates are low. What happens if they raise the interest rates? What happens if they raise the interest rates and that object that you bought is no longer worth as much as you bought it for? You can't sell it for as much. You sell it for about half, and you can't you're in trouble, and you're in trouble a large sum of money all of a sudden.
many central banks have implemented or considered expanding quantitative easing programs, first started a decade ago, as a way to continue stimulating their economies. Quantitative easing, or QE as it's commonly referred, is the process by which the central bank injects money into the economy. But while it's often imagined as a central bank printing dollar bills and giving them to banks and corporations, it's not that simple. Firstly, the move is actually mostly digital, with the central bank simply crediting themselves electronic funds, and the money enters the economy through open market operations. That is, the central bank inserts itself into the market as a buyer and purchases securities and assets using its new money, typically buying government bills and bonds from other banks. This action increases an economy's money supply. By buying the assets, the central bank is replacing them with new money, as if pulling the funds from an alternate dimension and injecting them into the economy. The process.
Let's go back. I'm gonna slow this down for you guys right here.
With the central bank simply crediting themselves electronic funds, and the money enters the economy through open market operations. That is, the central bank inserts itself into the market as a buyer and purchases securities and assets using its new money, typically buying government bills and bonds from other banks. This action increases an economy's money supply. By buying the assets, the central bank is replacing them with new money, as if pulling the funds from an alternate dimension and injecting them into the economy. The process also leads to the central bank increasing or expanding its balance sheet, since it will end up holding financial assets. So, why does the central bank consider doing this? What's the benefit of buying financial assets from the market? Well, one of the main objectives of QE is to lower the costs of borrowing, i.e. they're looking to ease a country's financial markets. This is done during periods where financial markets are tight, or when banks are more reluctant to lend, like after the financial crisis when the credibility of many businesses and organizations became less certain. Now, when overnight rates are near 0% from the central bank's influence, banks already borrow at a cheap cost, but the rates they turn around and charge on other longer-term loans may still be high. So by increasing money held by the banks, which is sitting around not earning a very high return, The hope is that the banks will be more willing to lend out to businesses and consumers. And since there's more banks with more money to lend, they will ideally compete and lower interest rates, making it easier for market participants to borrow and spend, thus, theoretically, saving the economy. This is why higher money supply is thought to lead to lower interest rates. Money becomes easier to come across, so it costs less to borrow. QE can also decrease interest rates by lowering the yield on financial assets. As a quick refresher, yield is the income return an investor receives when they purchase an investment. It's interest or dividend payments divided by the price paid, the market price. By buying financial assets like treasury bills, the central bank increases its price by bidding it up, thereby lowering its yield with interest rates remaining constant. This has a number of effects. For one, it can make it easier for the government to borrow money moving forward. For example, imagine the government has issued $1,000 treasury bills that pay $20 annually, so a 2% annual interest rate. And the central bank has bid up the price of outstanding treasury bills to $1,100. So they now only offer a yield of 1.8% to new investors. Because outstanding treasury bills only offer a 1.8% return to investors, the government could issue future treasury bills that pay, say, $18 annually and still offer a competitive rate, lowering their own cost of borrowing and allowing them to spend more. In this way, QE can actually help a government pursue fiscal policy, whereby the government increases spending to directly increase economic activity. Another effect of this is that it encourages more investment in riskier assets. Since government debt, which is fairly not risky, offers a less attractive return, investors may look to sell treasury bills and bonds to purchase higher yield corporate bonds and stocks, something that can help boost the stock market and improve capital market conditions, again making it easier to borrow money. So that's why central banks might pursue QE. But what we've described isn't much different from the standard open market operations carried out by central banks. In fact, purchasing treasury bills is one of the standard mechanisms used by the Federal Reserve for managing the federal funds rate in the US. What makes QE different is its scale and the fact that it can span other financial assets outside of government debt. In the US, for example, the Federal Reserve found itself adding almost $4 trillion to the US economy after 2008. And from 2009 to 2010, the central bank bought just over $1 trillion worth of mortgage-backed securities, an investment that became unpopular and risky due to its exposure to the housing market. This not only helped boost money supply, but it unloaded unwatched assets from the banks, with the hope that it would improve confidence in the housing market and allow banks to continue providing mortgages to home buyers. Sounds like a pretty solid win-win, right? An institution that can print money buys assets investors don't want to boost the economy. What can go wrong? Well, as with most things in economics, the action is not without its own risks and downsides. For one, QE can lead to runaway inflation. Inflation is when the value of the currency falls. With more money in circulation, each dollar becomes less valuable, leading to rising prices. QE will most of the time cause inflation, and while most developed countries target a low single-digit inflation rate, they may accidentally push inflation.
I do want this part to be slow. This is important, guys. What are the risks with QE?
Win-win, right? An institution that can print money buys assets investors don't want to boost the economy. What could go wrong? Well, as with most things in economics, the action is not without its own risks and downsides. For one, QE can lead to runaway inflation. Inflation is when the value of a currency falls. With more money in circulation, each dollar becomes less valuable, leading to rising prices. QE will most of the time cause inflation, and while most developed countries target...
Why is the United States... The president said the United States should expect at least 4% inflation in Q4 this year. We already had over 5-7%, whatever the heck, inflation earlier this year so far, so we're going to go up another 4%. Average inflation is supposed to be about 2%. Why are we going up already like 11% by like the... what are the no numbers? Q4, what's up with that? Is it quantitative easing? I don't know. Maybe this thing says that's what it does.
A low single-digit inflation rate. They may accidentally push inflation much higher, potentially causing a crisis when QE is implemented. And while most developed countries target a low single-digit inflation rate, they may accidentally push inflation much higher, potentially causing a crisis when inflation each dollar becomes less valuable, leading to rising prices. QE will most of the time cause inflation, and while most developed countries target a low single-digit inflation rate, they may accidentally push inflation much higher, potentially causing a crisis when QE is implemented. Secondly, injecting money into the economy may not necessarily lead to higher business activity. After all, the central bank can't force banks and businesses to use their newfound liquidity. And if institutions don't have confidence in the stability of the economy, they may simply hoard their newfound cash. This is part of the reason why Japan has continued to experience deflation, even after implementing QE programs and boosting money supply quite a bit. And even US banks were found to have held quite a bit of the money they received from the post-2008 program rather than lending it out. Finally, QE programs are not intended to be permanent. Once the economy has recovered, gotten back on its feet, and inflation starts to rise, the central bank will often reverse its QE program, selling assets back into the market, shrinking or unwinding its balance sheet,
it's like frozen.
and sterilizing or destroying money it receives to reduce money supply and keep inflation in check, effectively putting money back into the alternate portal it pulled it from.
All right.
But the timing of this step is just as important as the decision
I don't know
of
what I'm supposed to do
implementing
about that.
QE. If done at the wrong time, it can make a bad situation much worse, taking away a crutch businesses and banks have come to rely on. Now, QE is thought to have helped quite a bit with the post-2008 recovery of countries around the world, according to institutions like
might
the
have to
IMF.
stop OBS for
But
a
we
second.
have yet to see countries
start it back
fully
up.
reverse the
Like,
programs
obviously,
they
Reno's
put
still
in
here and
place.
shit, but, like, it's
the U.S. Federal Reserve's
kinda
balance
broken,
sheet still has roughly
guess.
$4 trillion worth of assets,
Interesting.
up from around $1 trillion in 2008. So while the process
this is
can
good.
and keep inflation in check, effectively putting money back into the alternate portal it pulled it from. But the timing of this step is just as important as the decision of implementing QE. If done at the wrong time, it can make a bad situation much worse, taking away a crutch businesses and banks have come to rely on. Now, QE is thought to have helped quite a bit with the post-2008 recovery of countries around the world, according to institutions like the IMF. But we have yet to see countries fully reverse the programs they put in place. The U.S. Federal Reserve's balance sheet still has roughly $4 trillion worth of assets, up from around $1 trillion in 2008. So, what?
How do we go up? It's like, so we had a $1 trillion asset issue in 2008. Now we're at a $4 trillion asset issue. But it's supposed to all be good and working? It just seems like they convince people not to complain about it.
While the process can support a country and bring cash to businesses in need, it requires extreme caution and care if the country wishes to maintain confidence in its economy and, importantly, its currency. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. And if you like what we're doing here, make sure to subscribe.
Like, I'm sure they're looking at that, it's just we've maintained the same debt. You're not getting out of debt. That's just the thing. The thing is that you haven't been getting out of debt, and if something happens, then you're gonna go into more debt. But why haven't you been? Because if you were to put that same debt, let's say it was 1 trillion debt, over the course of about 10 years, with 2% inflation on that debt, yeah, you'd be looking at about maybe I don't know if it should be up that much. It should be at about less than 2 trillion. That would be 100%. Yeah, it's up 400x. It should be up like 20%. It should be like 1.2 trillion or something like that. It shouldn't be that high, so it's failing. Yeah, I have to stop the stream for a second. I think I have to bring OBS down so that I can transition scenes again. I'm stuck. Let me see if this will do it. Oh, cool. That broke it. Okay, so I am sitting in the bleachers. And I think it's time we make a video. I will make a wee little video. Run back, but I won't go. Lincoln Murray, I'm playing, but no money on the line. Smile, you should just get tickets. You can fucking play for tickets. It can be consistent money matches. I don't understand you, bro. Just... you always want to do money matches and stuff. You could just be making money, and it's less risk for people, for everybody involved. It's made to be a less risk money match system. Which screen do I want to go to for this? PT maybe. Oh, just wow. Just wow. Just wow. Mi scusi. Mi scusi. Alright. What's up, folks? It's your boy MMG Smurf here. We got a live arena going, but we decided we're gonna make a video. We got a stream going today. Today's video is specific to the Tron blockchain and how to maximize your earnings. Just learning about some of the financial ecosystem on the Tron blockchain. It's not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but these are some developments on the Tron blockchain and how they work, and again, how you could potentially maximize some of your earnings. So let's go over what the heck I'm talking about. This is using DeFi on the Tron blockchain. So there are, or were, like tons of scam projects on the Tron blockchain. Farms that, you can call them a scam or not, but some farms that just went kaput. Price went to zero, and that happens. People selling stuff too, or they run away with the liquidity, whatever. These are the ones by the Tron Foundation themselves. So imagine the Ethereum Foundation or IOHK, the people who run Cardano, just made their own DeFi applications, and these are the type of applications we're going to be looking at today for the Tron blockchain. So I'm going to switch my window over here to the Tron blockchain. I have my Tron Link wallet in my browser. You can also get this wallet as an extension for your browser, or as a mobile application, excuse me. But here's my Tron Link wallet. This is what it looks like once you create a wallet and log in. I have some WBTT down here, and I think that's what I'm going to use to show off the features today. So I have about $100 of WBTT. I'm not going to use that. I'm probably going to use like $10 worth of it or so. So let me find out what $10 worth of WBTT is first. And you can see some other tokens that I have, some other assets. So I'm going to click USDC at the bottom, which is United States dollars. And by doing that, I would be able to see how much, and let me zoom in on this a little bit for you guys too. I would be able to see how much one Tron is in United States dollars on the Tron blockchain, which is currently around 10 cents. So one Tron, 10 cents. You can get Tron from Money Match Gaming's Discord Arcade. By competing in matches, you can earn ARC from Money Match Gaming's Discord Arcade and convert that into Tron if you wanted to. One ARC is currently going for 3.8 cents. You could, get BTT from Money Match Gaming's Arcade and sell that into Tron. One BT 0.0038. It's like a tenth of what ARC is worth. That's funny. But BTT has more use cases, and it's probably going to go up quicker than ARC. We have the Arcade as a use case, but it's really just a governance utility token. Anyways, what can we do with this thing? So we want to, other than trading, so you can trade, obviously there's a lot of tokens you can trade into. You see Dogecoin there. That is actually Dogecoin. If you want to get some Doge from, again, you can do this from Money Match Gaming's Discord Arcade, playing Smash Bros, earn some BTT, swap it into Dogecoin. There you go if you're a Doge fanatic. But on the left hand column here is really what I want to show on this website, so I actually have to drag this over a little bit so you guys can see it. Cool. So on this left hand, oops, yeah, it's like my computer's like, you want me to snap that into focus, right? I'm like, I don't actually for this example. Okay, so on the left hand column here you can see all these other options, and these might be harder to see on the mobile application versus on the computer. But you can get to them on both, especially if you just use the browser option. What we wanted to do is look at LP pools. So the first thing I'm going to look at is this thing that says LP pools at the top. I'm going to click on that, and it says new mining with new higher return. And so they're saying higher return, but these are higher returns on Tron, which is usually like 7-8% or something like that. So we got United States dollars and Tron for 8.1%. Tron has not gone down over the last year. It's only going up. It's going up about 300% or something like that over the last year. So that's not a bad bet. WBTT and Tron, man, it's like a hair. And Tron, NFT token in Tron, which is also up. All these tokens are up over the last year. USDJ and Tron, but obviously it's, what do you want to hold? So a bunch of different assets in Tron for the most part. Bitcoin in Tron, ETH in Tron, Win in Tron. You can stake all these different assets with Tron, which is just creating liquidity on the Tron blockchain, which that's what they're after. And they'll pay you these APYs. Now, before they were paying you these APYs in different coins. Here's an example of that happening with NFT and TRX, where they'll pay you some 27% in the NFT token and 11% in the Tron token for holding this pair as liquidity. So you still own those tokens when you hold them, when you put them together as liquidity. So if I had 1,000 of the NFT tokens and whatever it is equal in Tron, probably like 5 Tron, then I still have those when I withdraw it. I still have that 5 Tron and I have that 1,000 NFT token, and I've earned whatever else I've earned in the meantime. So you can start with a small amount, especially if you're just trying to earn some more tokens in general. You're like, I don't really have a lot. Well, maybe this is something that you could do. So this is one option that I like on the Tron blockchain. The other one that I want to show is Just Lend, and I believe it's justlend.org. This is also one that you'll easily find in the mobile application. It's one of the main apps they promote in the mobile application. Again, this is another one by the Tron Foundation. And this one is for single assets. So previously I was showing liquidity pairs. And so this is if you, and so that in that case, you have to make a liquidity pair. And I'll show that in just a second. But in this case, this is if you just had Tron, or if you just had United States dollars, or whatever the heck, WBTT. I'm about to show some what you could do at WBTT. So in this case, let's say we earn some BitTorrent token from Money Match Gaming's arcade, and we converted it into WBTT. I've shown that in some other videos. I can show it in just a second when we go to make that liquidity. But we have WBTT, and here they're saying they will pay us to supply our WBTT here, aka to stake it here. They'll pay us 11% on our WBTT. So whatever we have, we're getting 11% earnings on it. They also have a borrow APY. So this is the whatchamacallit. It's not what you're earning, but it's the cost, and that's 2.78%. So you get like almost 10%. So what you can do here is you can click the supply button, and this is totally optional. I'm just showing you guys what you can do. I haven't done this yet on this account. I saved myself. Supply APY is showing me 11.31%. So I'm going to supply some BitTorrent token here today, and I'm going to start earning. Because, if you have an asset, and the value of this type of thing is like if you have an asset, it's like if you were saving in traditional finance. I played a whole bunch of traditional finance videos and stuff like that, education, before we started this portion of stream and making this video. But if you had a bunch of assets in traditional finance, so dollars or bonds or whatever, securities and stuff, stocks, you might, try to make something off of those, earn some interest or yield off of those. Sitting those dollars, if you had enough dollars, put them in a CD, put them in some type of bank program that earns you some interest off of those. That's what people look for. They're like, oh, this will make me something. But the problem is the bank is only giving you like 2% a year or something like that, less 0.0 whatever the heck. And inflation is already up somewhere around 11% this year. So you're not making any money off the bank. It's actually just money that's not doing anything. You're losing money. That's just the fact. You just lost money holding in the bank. The buying power is down. Like, cool, you can buy something with it, but you can't buy as much as you could last year. So 1,000 WBTT is what I have right here. And in the case of my WBTT, I can already buy 3,000% more than I could last year with my WBTT, because it went up 3,000% since last year. And then now I'm going to earn at least 10% off of whatever the heck I'm earning as it increases. Maybe it goes up another 1,000%. It'll be 1,000 plus the 10%. I'm cool with that. So we're going to loan out this 1,000, and this is an interesting cycle. So this is like a lending platform, similar to what you might hear about. Aave is another Ethereum-based lending platform. MakerDAO. These are other big platforms. This one is Just Lend. So it's using the Just token. So there's that. They also do have liquidity pools down here, but we're doing this real quick. So I just applied that. And then we look up here, you can see that it'll say that I have 1,000 WBTT supplied, which is worth $3.92. Woo! Yay me! Yay! I also have $1 worth of Ethereum supplied. Yay! So this is what I'm going to do here, because I think BitTorrent token is going up in the short run, and I don't have a lot of money, right? So I'm going to push this collateral button to the right. So other than earning off of this, I'm already earning 11% off of staking it here. Yay. Let's do a little base pump right there. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to supply it as collateral. And they say my borrow limit when I supply it as collateral, so I have $3.92 here. And I can borrow up to $2.35 if I supply this as collateral. So I could put my BTT there, and then I could buy up United States dollars, and I could wait for a dump. Maybe the market's going to dump, or I could just buy up more BTT now. I could buy up $2.35 more of BTT, and so let's show that whole situation. So I push the approve button. I have to sign this contract here, or approve it like this. What you do on these wallets. So do that. It says close. I think that was just approving it. Now I've enabled the BTT as collateral. So like you've seen that before, maybe on DeFi and blockchain tutorials, where the first time that you touch a contract, push the button on it, you're approving it. And so usually on blockchains that costs a lot of money. The beauty of Tron is that if you have Tron staked in your wallet, which I do have Tron staked in my wallet, I'll click on this and it'll say I have 250 available, but I have 520 Tron. It's because I have 270 Tron frozen, so that transactions cost me nothing. They're like free. I get a lot of free transactions throughout the day because you can stake Tron, keep that Tron that you have staked. You can also loan that Tron out that you have staked. If you want to loan that out, people will pay you for it. But there's different things that you can do that don't exist on Ethereum, even though Tron is just a copy of Ethereum from the start. Now it's starting to develop its own things. So I'm going to loan that out and borrow. And now I can borrow off of that. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Ethereum amount. And it says from this, I can borrow... What the fuck? Borrow limit $1,000. Okay, we're just gonna see what the fuck this thing's talking about, bro. Oh, that's because of whatchamacallit. I'm like, no, I don't know if that's all my Ethereum in this one. But I could borrow a lot of the money over here in the market and just kind of sit on it if I wanted to with the Ethereum. So borrow limit used 0%, but I could borrow over $1,000 with my Ethereum there. 2.34 to $1,000 what it says. I forgot I have way more Ethereum staked over here, and it's just earning me Tron every day. They pay it out like once weekly. So I borrowed that or supplied that stuff. So right now I'm just earning money, and then I've said yes, you can use this as collateral, which means now I can also borrow money. So I'm gonna push the borrow button. I can push safe max, which says that I'll be borrowing $1.87, and this is just keeping it low so that you're not too risky. Or I could push that up all the way. I could push it up a little higher. So I'm going to push safe max. I'm just going to keep it at what it's at. I would have to type in a higher number. I'm going to accept it. It's going to give me 497 more WBTT. And I could borrow. I don't have to borrow from that though. Like I borrowed WBTT, but I could push borrow over here. So I still have some money over here. I could borrow some USDT. This is all from that 1,000 BTT that I deposited. So I deposited 1,000 BTT. They've given me over $4 so far that I'm using to stake and stuff like that. So what could I do with that USDT that I just borrowed, right? Sorry the video is going on a little bit. But what could I do with that USDT? I'm looking at this chart. They're also saying that they have 8% APY on USDT pairs. Now this stuff's getting kind of risky. I'm just taking money and moving it to different places. But yep, I want to. I'm going to prove that one. And I'm going to stake the USDT that they just gave me. I'm going to put it in here for 8%. I'm just going to have everything cycle around, and I might do it one more time around so that you can increase the money. They're already saying get a little risky. I don't know what I got. See, I can't even supply that much of this one, so I'm not even going to do it. I probably want to do that with the BTT if I've done it. An example of that. No, I'll just do it over here with the BTT. So we got that 400 BTT. It's kind of hard to see now because I have so much BTT over here. But there's that 479. So what I could do with that 479 that they sent me, the USDT amount is just too small right now for it. I don't know if maybe it's just because it hasn't gone through. I don't know if maybe it wasn't gone through. Total borrowed. No, I already just borrowed some. Yeah, they're like, no, you can't get any more. Let's go back to WBTT. I want to supply more. They gave me 479. I want to supply some more. So now, just from that 1,000 BTT, I had 1,000 BTT. This is where I should have maybe I had to edit this part of the video because it started making confusing to people. but I had 1,000 BTT. I put it in here to earn 11%. They gave me 479 BTT that I borrowed, and then I put that 479 BTT right back in here to earn me more. So I could have put it in United States dollars and waited for a smaller or a market dip or something like that. And that's probably what you want to do. You probably actually just want to put in United States dollars for a little bit, see what happens with the market, get in 5-10% lower when the market does a little dip. The market does that all the time, and then there you go. But what can I do now? Now I can borrow 229 more BTT. You just keep doing that cycle basically, and all of a sudden I could have 2,000 BTT probably, just about, like, if I went through this again, or close to, staked in there. And that's going to be more risque. I would suggest doing things like that. Like I can't suggest anything, but theoretically I would suggest doing things like that when you play it right. But that's that portion of things. Same thing exists for liquidity mining. This is basically just going to be what we saw on the other page. The Just Swap farms. So they have the Just and TRX pair over here. And this is going to be the exact same pair probably. But yeah, that's that portion of things. Ended up being a little bit longer of a video than I wanted it to be, honestly. A little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I'm still going to post it. We're still going to post it. Just fuck it. Give it a catchy title or something. Hopefully you found this informational, educational. Lending and borrowing does exist on Tron. I'm using a few bucks and making a few bucks. But I did just watch a video where they were talking about United States financial, banking system and stuff like that. And they're like, if you had $1,000, they would pay you maybe $20 within a year. And I'm like, this has been a few months and it's given me $16 from like one thing. And I slowly increased that. Like I didn't have as much in there. I've taken it out and stuff like that. But it's giving me $16 already. Kind of shitting on your banking system that you have to continuously save, no? That's my personal opinion. See you guys in the next one. Smurf out. Yeah, let's get back to this Smash too. I don't know if they ran us down. But yeah, to answer Cam's questions, yes, you get 11% just for supplying. It's 11% APY. After you supply it, you can borrow on whatever you supplied. So it's like how like banks like see, what is it? Is it banks or securities or bonds? I forget what it is in traditional banking, but you're allowed to do borrowing and lending in banks. Have so much money, have so much credit, basically, credit lines, and then you can borrow so much. So you're making 11%, but then you can also borrow money if you wanted to. Same way that you can do in traditional finance, where you borrow money and then you buy assets. So that was a thing. I probably should have mentioned with that. Is it, yeah. In the traditional world, you borrow to afford things that you can't necessarily afford with cash. And in DeFi, you can supply, be earning on that yield, whatever you supplied, borrow so that you can afford more of those assets that you couldn't previously afford. And so now I got 400 more, or I'm waiting to get some more, and I still have my other assets there. At any point in time, I can pull those assets out, or I can repay what I've borrowed, hopefully, and I can be totally in the green then. But that's kind of what you want to go for. I'll probably make another video on that where I just try to be super successful with it. Like I'll take like $10, try to play the market. That's the thing though, that would take longer to make that type of video, because you want to make it over multiple days. Like, you're not gonna sit there and be like, I got the magic dip of 15% today in the market. And this is the perfect time to go in. It's hard to do. Is this in my area? I don't know. Let's check it out. Did we get people back in? Alfred sauce. Yeah, I'm like, I should have just kept it straight on BTT. Ugh. Not even mention the USDT portion of things. I'm gonna show another example of just making money-making opportunities. Not a lot of money, do a lot of money. Dying. What do they change now? Do they add avalanche? You get on the avalanche and change now. Oh shit. Can you go from TRX to avalanche? Oh shit. Let me see if I had 100 TRX. I need 118 TRX to go from Tron to avalanche. Interesting. Not a bunch of AVX though. You probably want. Let me see how much. I have 500 Tron. You probably want at least 500 Tron. Gotcha. Yeah, let me give you my Tron address. You can just send it to this MMG address. Let me get in there, get yourself free sauce. Although he's a fucking scheme, I'm probably gonna switch. I'm like, yo, should I get that that Vanguard?
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh shit. really build up. Oh. AVX miner, it's where it's gonna go. AVX miner, that's what it's on. Oof, that hurt. Ow. Bro, stop. Ow. Wait. Received. Yeah, this guy just went on Tron, dude. I forgot to look at they're just straight up Tron. 3.9% Tron. Wow. Bruh. It's like literally all he's getting on me is this one hit. You can't win a game with one fucking move. Bruh. That did not kill.
Lucas wins!
Like, what if that neutral that was already on top of him connected? And I'm switching off the smash because we only got so much longer. Yeah, I'm not gonna get the chance, so. I wanted to, but people never give you enough time to write anything in your fucking arenas. Alright, I don't know what game it says I'm on, but I'm gonna go over to the Xbox, play some Xbox games, and cover maybe Avalanche, I think, next, and blockchain stuff. So I do think those are the best things on Tron right now. Nice to see the Tron Meebits and stuff like that are official. Tron Meebits are official. Tron T-Punks are official. That's what's that. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna change the title slightly. Let's call it what it is. That shoulder. Oh, this is a nice slow load we got here. It's cute. Bro, when it does this, goodness, it's so annoying. Alright, gotta wait for this thing to turn on.